have to make a better calendar for how long I'll be here for and how long I will be in New York for. I'm not gonna.
I would hope not.
I wouldn't. Like, you guys are my kids. Like, you know what I mean? You come first. I want to be happy. I want to live in the moment. But
No.
You know, she talks about she wants to be happy, she wants to live in the moment. But listen, being happy and living in the moment, where did I get you with your kids? Where did he get you with your family? Your mom's not happy with the fact that you married a man without her knowing. Your sister's not happy about it. Both of your kids have been stunned about it. Luckily for you, your youngest, he's okay about it. But that's because it's probably because he's young. Who knows? But the oldest, he's about to drop in some gems right here. Honestly, I'm all about going with the flow of life. But when you've got a responsibility, it's not as easy as 1 to 3 to just go with the flow of life when it's going to affect the responsibilities that you have. In this situation, she's got a responsibility to both of her freaking kids. The way she thinks, whatever.
If you're not here,
yeah,
Dad lives 45 minutes away. Something happens with Jesse in school.
right.
You know, like,
I'm responsible for Jesse. You're not taking my role. You're not Jesse's parent. I am still your parent and his parent.
You know, it's crazy. Dad lives 40 plus minutes away, okay? And I'm assuming that's without traffic, right? And the fact is, I mean, Dad isn't always going to be there when they need him. And okay, she can talk about, well, she's going to talk about her family in terms of her mother and whatnot being there. And she can talk about how the brother isn't going to be responsible for her little brother. But the thing is, though, her son, because he's the oldest, by default, he's going to want to be there for his little brother. Why? Because mom isn't in the country, and 2, because dad lives 40 minutes away. So by default, he's going to be protective. So of course he's going to take that responsibility because you're giving him no choice, no matter how she wants to look at it. Anybody that has been a big brother or big sister knows exactly what I'm talking about. You know? Well, anybody who's a decent person knows what I'm talking about. Who's an older, sibling. But we continue.
Of course, get on the next plane if I needed to get to New York, clearly. And we have family, we have a lot of people. I mean, grandma and grandpa, they're gonna help. She's like, hey, I'm coming and I want to live there, then okay, you know what I mean?
But I'm by myself, no?
And then you could come. You don't want me to move, then you gotta say that.
The saddest thing about it is saying that, I can be on the next plane, next flight. I'm sorry, but what? That's from Ireland. If you're flying from Dublin, I'd imagine, all the way to New York, that is around about a 7-hour flight, maybe a little bit more, maybe a bit less, depending on the winds. But either way, though, your kid not only has to wait 7 hours, but also is going to wait the extra 3 hours or 2 hours early. You're going to be at the airport anyway. That's another 9 to 10 hours, okay? And then you got to then land at the airport, and they come out of the airport. We're adding an extra. God damn, another 30 minutes maybe, depending on whether you arrive on time. Given that there is no delays and you gotta go through passport control, you gotta go through so many things. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that means your child pretty much would have to wait the whole next day for you to fly. But that's if you can find a flight the next day. There's a chance you may not find a flight within the next few days to maybe a week. And then also on top of that, it also comes down to whether you can afford the nearest flights available as well. And the nearest flight might not even be a direct flight. So your child could be going through something and they may not see mommy until a week later. Worst case scenario. Even though the best case scenario definitely isn't even the best case scenario because that's still 10 plus hours. This woman is hilarious. She thinks it's that simple. If your little one needs you, it's going to be different. Your older one, okay, because older we can say maybe he's going to be able to cope for a little bit. But if he loves his mother, he's going to struggle just as much. And give him that burden? Come on now. This woman is not realistic to the slightest. I'm so disappointed in her. So disappointed. I mean, I say I'm disappointed as if I actually know her, but I kind of feel like I do because this is ridiculous.
And then you could come. You don't want me to move, then you gotta say that.
I feel like it's a lose-lose situation here.
Let's talk about the lose-lose situation. So obviously, they're talking about what if the little bro wants to move to Ireland with them? Then that means he's left in New York by himself. And then she's like, but you can join us too. But he obviously doesn't want to. But either way, though, it's a lose-lose situation for him because if little bro wants to stay, that means he's going to end up staying in the States by himself. You know what I mean? Staying with whoever is around. And then therefore he's going to have no relationship with his little bro, no relationship with his mum. Only sees them every couple of weeks or every couple of months, however it works. Or he has to move and relocate his whole life to Ireland, find new friends, maybe leave his girlfriend if he's got one. Or whoever his partner may be. Who knows? She's definitely putting him in a lose-lose situation. This woman.
It's not that I don't want you to. It's just like, I'd rather not have my mom like in a different country.
Made the decision to marry someone across the Atlantic and want to move there. I never really want to think about the negatives in any situation, so it has a lot of questions, and all of them valid.
She never wants to think about the negatives in any situation. Okay, so let's avoid thinking of the negatives, and then we'll just create the negatives instead. You avoided thinking about them, but they happen anyway. And now you are the negative. That is the maddest part about it. Imagine that, ignoring negatives so long that you end up becoming the negative. Mother of the year.
So it has a lot of questions, and all of them valid. There are many layers to this decision that Joanne and I did not take into consideration.
One needs to work around your decision right now. Put salt in the open wound.
The matter of the fact is, she should be sitting here right now and saying to her kids, listen, I was extremely selfish, not telling you guys that I was getting married. No, that I was married to someone in a different country. And I'm so sorry that I'm now expecting you to be okay with me moving to this country, and also expecting that you guys may be okay with me moving to this country as well as you maybe even coming in. So you know what? I'm actually being selfish by putting you in a position where I'm trying to give you options, as if that's okay, as if that's what a mother's supposed to do in this situation. So you know what? This is what's going to happen. I'm not beginning no options out here. I am going to come back home, okay? And my home is going to be with you guys in New York. But every few months or something like that, I will come back to Ireland to see my man for however long that could be, whether that be a month. If she comes back and sees him, I don't know. Either way, she needs to be like, okay, let me take charge of the situation. This was going to happen. I am not moving the way I plan to. I'm going to stick by you guys. And I'll come and see him whenever he sees fit. And also on top of that, he will also come and see us whenever he sees fit too. And then at some point down the line, if things change, develop, then I can reconsider at some point. But I cannot be putting you guys in this position thinking it's okay to do this to you guys. That's what she should be saying. Okay? Because at least then it gives time for the kids to get used to her disappearance every few months for a month's period. And also at the same time, it gives the boys time to also get to know Sean even more, because in that moment in time, there'll be times when he'll be coming to this stage too. What? Even though he is actually barred right now, he's banned, isn't he? He's banned because he overstayed one time. But either way, though, there'll be times when even they can go with her to Ireland and spend time with him and his daughter too. Do you see what I'm saying? And it gives that time for them to overly build that bond. And by then, who knows? Both of the boys may be like, man, I like Ireland. 2, I've been able to make friends here, and 3, we love Sean. So you know what? Let's do this. Or vice versa. By the time it all comes to it, maybe the ban has been lifted and then boom, he can now be back in the States. You know, slow transition. You rush the first transition of getting married, which is fine, but now put a slow transition to how your kids are going to mold into this life. You can't be putting them in a position where they have to make choices. They shouldn't be put in that position. Are you mad? Are you crazy? Are you moving mad? Let me know your thoughts. If you think maybe I'm being a bit too harsh, good for you. I stick by what I said. And like the boy said at the very, very, very end of this clip, let's play it.
Your decision right now. Put salt in the open wound.
Salt in the open wound. The wound that the boys wasn't even aware of. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.